Hi everyone, welcome to this session. We shall be discussing about greatest common divisor, and maybe as an introductory part, we are taking a very good example whereby we say the factors of 12. For instance, if you are given a number, you can get its factors. For instance, if you are having 12, the factors of 12 can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Remember, when we talk about factors, we mean you are looking for numbers that can exactly divide 12. So if you look at 2 divides 12 times, 2 can divide 12 6 times, 3 can divide 12 4 times, these 4 can divide 12 3 times, 6 can divide 12 2 times, and 12 can divide 12 1 times. So basically, when we talk about factors, we are looking at numbers that can divide the particular number you are asked to get a whole number. Number that you will divide by this number to get a whole number is what we are calling the factors. If you look at 16, you look at the factors of 16, the factors will be 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Remember, all these numbers will divide 16 to get a whole number. So we are calling them factors of 16 and 12. So basically what we mean is, if you look at 12, we have said 12 you're having 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 6 times 12. These are the factors of 12. If you look at 16, we have said 1 times 2 times 4 times 8 times 12. These are the factors. If you want to get the greatest common divisor from the word great and common and a divisor, we are looking at the number that will divide these two numbers, a common number that will divide the two numbers, and that number should be great. So what happens is, from the factors, you need to look at the numbers which are common in both cases. If you check this, 1 is common in both cases, 2 is also common in both cases. If you check, 4 is also common. 4 is also common in both cases. Remember, in this case, we are not going to look at 12 because we are not taking that particular number. Remember, we should have stopped at this point. So what happens is, these are the factors. These are the factors of 12. We cannot write 12 here because we are looking for the factors of 12. So this is what we have. 16, we have these factors. So having said that, then you look for the common numbers. 1 is common in both cases, 2 is common in both cases, 3 is not common. We only having 3 here, we don't have 3 the other side. 4 is common in both cases. These numbers are not common. So once you have realized that, then you will take the product of the common numbers that you have gotten at this particular point, which will be equal to, you have 1 times 2 times 4. Those are the common numbers that you are having. Then it means that our greatest common divisor, we actually don't multiply, but we just pick the greatest common. Remember, 1 is common, 2 is common, 4 is common. So the numbers which are common are 1, 2 is also common, 4 is also common. So after you have identified these 3, you pick the greatest among the factors that you have written. That tells you that 4 is the greatest. Among these common factors, 4 is the greatest. So that is how we look for the greatest common divisor. Remember, we have another method. You can alternatively take this. You can take your 12. Alternatively, we are saying you can take 12, you get the factors. These are 2 goes there 6 times. Then you have 2 going there 3 times. You take the next number, which is 16. 2 goes into 16 8 times. Then 2 goes there 4 times. This one is 2. After you have done this, you can write the factors of 12 and 16. Remember, the factors of 12 from this particular case is 2 times 2 times 3. The factors of 16 in this case will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. After you have done that, you identify the common factors. This one is common. This one is also common. You are having 3 here which does not exist on the other side. So it means the common factors are 2 and 2. So if you take the product of these ones, you will get 4. So the first thing we have said is, in this case, what we have done, you have gotten the prime factors of 12. This one we got the prime factors of 16. Remember, a prime number is a number that has got 2 factors. That is 1 and itself. Like if you talk about 3 is a prime number because it is only 3 which will divide it and 1, meaning it only has 2 factors. But if you look at 4 is not a prime number because 1 will divide this, 2 will divide this, and 4 will divide this. Meaning 4 is not a prime number, the fact that it is having more than 2 factors. So basically we have said if you got those factors, you will be able to get 12 and 16. From there you will be able to get the common number, which is 4, as we have said in the notes. Alternatively, I have said you can pick up on this alternative method, which also gives the 4. Now basically, if we look at the third point says that the greatest among them is 4. Thus 4 is referred to as, remember this 4 has got 3 different names, 3 different names which mean the same thing. So if you encounter any of those 3 names in the exam, they mean they mean the same thing. So the first one is 4 can be referred to as the greatest common factor. It can also be referred to as the greatest common divisor, GCD. It can also be called as the highest common factor. So whenever you meet these words, they mean the same thing, and whenever you meet them, you are supposed to execute the process that I have listed in this case. So we shall now move on to another example. Which reads, find the GCD of 72, 96, and 300. So like we have said, the first thing you need to do is to determine 72. You take your 72, you get the factors. 2 goes into 72 36 times. You also take 2. How many times does 2 get? How many times does 36? How many times does 2 get into 36? 18 times. 2 goes into 18 9 times. Then of course 2 does not go into 9. You take 3. 3 goes here 3 times. You take the next one, which is 96. 2 goes to 96 48 times. 2 goes into 48 24 times. 2 goes into 24 12 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. Then finally 2 goes into 3 times. You pick on the last one, which is 300. 2 goes into 300 150 times. 2 goes into 150 75 times. We take 3, which goes here 25 times. Then finally we can have 5 going into 25 5 times. After you have done this, you can now write the factors. 72 is given by 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Those are the factors of 72. Then you pick the factors of 96. 96 will be given by 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2 times 3. You move to the last one, which is 300, which will be equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. After you have done that, remember the process will be you identify the common numbers in both cases and you multiply them. We can start with the first one, which is 2. 2 is common in both cases. Also, if you check, this 2 is also common. We having 2 here, we having 2 there, we don't have 2 here. So meaning that the only 2's which are common are the first 2's which are common in both cases. Let us look at 3. 3 is common here. 3 is common there. Then we can also pick this one. So in this particular case, 3 is common. 3 is common in both cases. You look at 5. 5 is not common in both cases. That tells you that our GCD will be given by 2 times 2 times 3. So the answer here becomes 12. So the greatest common divisor for this particular 3 numbers is given as 12 because we have done all that process. We've done all that process. We can take one more example. We can take one more example. We can take one more example. 3 times are capable of holding 3684 and 90 liters of milk. Determine the capacity of the greatest. Determine the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number, each one of them an exact number of times. So this is an example, application example, which reads 3 tanks are capable of holding 3684 and 90 liters of milk. Determine the capacity of the greatest vessel which can be used to fill each one of them an exact number of times, the greatest. So basically what you will do here, is to get the GCD. So the solution will be, you get the GCD, and we have said we are having 36, 84, and 90. You will get your 36, the factors of 36 will be 2, 18, 2, this is 9, 3, 3. You will take the other one, which is 84, which is 2, 20, this is 42, 2 there, 21, 3 here, 7. You will take the next one, which is 90. This is 245. 3 is 15. 3 is 5. After you have done this, you will write the factors, like we said, which is 36, which is equals to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. You take on 84, which will be equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. You take on the next one, which is 90, which will be equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. After you have listed these factors, you look at which one is common in both cases. Remember, 2 is common here. These other 2's are not common. You can go to 3. 3 is common here. Then the other 3 is not common. These ones are not common. So basically, that tells you that our GCD will be equal to 2 times 3, which is 6. So the greatest vessel is 6 liters. The capacity of the greatest vessel should be 6 liters. So that is the answer of that particular example.